Leslie Kastner, and this is my informative speech. Working in the farming industry as a female can be a very difficult task. You have to be very optimistic and never give up, no matter how many times somebody tells you you can't do it. I've had many people tell me that I cannot physically do things in an appropriate manner, and I have no appropriate knowledge. Most of these have been somebody who has been farming in the industry for many, many years. I am here to inform you about the equality and inequality experiences between men and women in the workforce. There are 65 million women in the workforce, and less than 10% work in the construction and agriculture industry, according to the International Labor Organization. Most of the stereotypes on the farm are that the girls of the family tend to go off and go to college and get different careers off the farm in the town or in the city. And not many of them stay on the farm to help and do the things that maybe their brothers or their cousins or grandpas or fathers do. And within the last 20 years, there was a 30% increase in the industry. Most of these women farmers have, although been organic, they have still put a dent in the farming industry, giving the rest of us hope that we can also do it as well as they can. On our farm, we really don't believe in inequality for women. There are many, many girls that show how much they actually work on the family farm. For example, we built a 50 by 160 pole barn for our cattle, and that being said, the girls were there helping just as much as the guys were. Even though we couldn't do as much hard physical labor as they could, we were still there to do as much as we could, whether it was the small projects or not. An advantage for the women in the farming industry is that we are able to qualify for the different types of loans. I also found that information on the USDA website. The loans are also gifted to us through the USDA. One of these loans is the direct operating loan, and that can be through one of the branches called FSA. It is basically a loan that has a shortened application process or reduced paperwork. And what this loan helps anybody do is that it will give them money for livestock prices or different feed bills or different equipment such as combines, skid steers, semis, different tractors to help feed, anything that basically involves the farm. It also helps with operating costs such as fuel bills for the year or different type of family living bills that you may need to cover throughout the year since you don't consistently get a paycheck every 2 weeks to cover those different types of bills. It helps with repairs on buildings and refinance different debts, which basically means helping you pay off different types of like insurance bills that you have to pay right away throughout the year and stuff like that. Another type of a loan is called a direct farm ownership loan, and that's also through the FSA. It is used to purchase farmland or construct and repair buildings, like re-tin buildings, whether you're putting up a new building. Like we used this loan when we applied for the big pole barn that we built. Or it can also be used to make farm improvements, like fixing fences or fixing different guardrails on corrals, different smaller stuff like that. The max amount you can take out for this loan is $300,000 a year, and you have to have farmed or managed a farm for at least 3 years prior to even be eligible for this loan. The last loan I'm going to tell you about is a guaranteed loan. It is usually given through farm credit or different types of banks, like a bank I have in my hometown called Hometown Credit Union, which also deals with people who don't farm or people who do. It just depends on the branch you go to. They guarantee up to 95% of the loss of principal and the interest on a loan. This type of loan is targeted to beginning farmers and the minority applicants. The minority applicants would be considered as women, Alaskan Indians, American Indians, just different types. And most farmers start out with this loan just because it is generally the easiest loan to get and it is the most lenient loan. According to the census of 2012, only 9% of female farmers have made an income of $50,000 or more, and that was found on the agcensus.com. The loan started from the bare minimum, and the different farmers started from nothing. They basically just found an interest and then kind of ran with it. And that is kind of what I'm doing. I was always taught to follow my dreams, and I have done a lot of additional studying on different types of vaccinations I could possibly use, different type of feed, the mixtures of feed, what type of percentages of mixtures between silage, hay, and corn and pellets I should use. And I've also done a lot of research on genetics when it comes to me eventually wanting to AI my own cattle, just to get the right genetics for easier calving and the nice body build of the cattle I do want. So as you can see, women farming can be definitely difficult. We do have a lot of disadvantages, but I feel like the government has helped us out a lot with the financial advantages and kind of making up for it because I feel like they do see it too. We do get to qualify for a lot of the loans that not many other people do through the USDA and FSA and different farm credit branches. I am able to shoot for my dreams and to become a successful farmer, and I was always taught not to let anyone or anything get in the way of what I truly want, and I am not letting anyone or anyone get in the way because I do feel like this is one of the bigger goals I want to achieve in my life. I'm a very independent person and can overcome any obstacle that may be in my way. Thank you.